Buongiorno camminare, or as I like to say, hello walkers. Welcome finally to Italy. I've been talking about it for quite a while now, and we arrived in Venice today after a long travel day. We are starting here. Our first walk in Italy is going to be at the Mestre train station, and then we're going to go to the Mestre Cento. I'm going to just do a quick walk into the train station to show you that, and then we'll go by a bunch of hotels and a bunch of restaurants and some neighborhood, and then we'll end up at this sort of center of things, sort of the old town center. See, it is 79 degrees Fahrenheit, I think it's 29 Celsius, is that right? I just looked it up. 5:45 p.m. here. You can see people waiting for the train. A train in the background. Folks are headed towards Trieste. This is about 5:50. This is super exciting, guys, for me. 26 degrees Celsius, sorry about that. I want to thank our Patreon supporters, all of you guys. Thanks so much. You helped make this possible in just a little bit, and I appreciate that, but I also really appreciate the encouragement and the support. If you guys, anybody wants to learn more about the Patreon program, there's a link down in the YouTube description below. That's pretty much the train station. We got the automat places to buy your tickets. You have to validate your tickets prior to boarding, excuse me. Of course, you got the ubiquitous McDonald's. That's unfortunate, but I don't know, I like their breakfast. On the go. Here's the Hotel Plaza Venice. That's where we're staying. It's actually really nice. Looks a little rough on the outside, but it's pretty nice. We're going to go to the right here. It's a little commercial and commercial down here by the train station. Oh yeah, I wanted to tell you guys to check out citywalksvirtualtours.com, the website that I've built and am currently populating with all the historic archived walks. So I give you a street view here. You can see the bus stop, the Mestre Station, M-E-S-T-R-E. Anyway, one of the benefits of going to the website is that the walks are organized for you. It's not like just a big collage of almost random, sometimes seems, videos that you get when you do a YouTube search, but also it's arranged by location and by walk length. You can also search by keyword. One of the bar cafes, you'll see a lot of those later on as we walk. So let me just tell you a little bit about Mestre, because that's about all I know. It is the mainland, one of the mainland sections of Venice. So to get to the historic Venice, you would take the train. I guess this is east in this direction, about 5-10 minutes, and you would end up at Stazione San something or other, and you would start walking from there. Or you might catch a vaporetto. Heckity hoo-ha hey. And we'll be doing that in October. So keep an eye out for that. But we're gonna go up into the mountains tomorrow. We're gonna do a hut trek. Well, we're gonna go hang out in Bolzano for 2 days, sort of catch our breath a little bit in terms of catching up on our sleep and getting our circadian rhythm normalized.
This one.
And, oh, I'm gonna go down here because this is where I wanted to go. You see, this is a little graffiti-esque, but look at this awesome bike path. So we're gonna follow this through the neighborhoods up to the Mestre Center. And I've commented a lot about how much I enjoy seeing bike-friendly communities and bike-excited communities, people that actually go out and bike, not just that there's infrastructure, but they actually go out and do it. And I've seen a lot of people on bikes and scooters, which is pretty cool. It was a long day today, but I am so glad to be here in Venice, traveling again, exploring. So my name is Henry. I'll be your proxy walker today. I tried to do that at the beginning generally, but I'm also your virtual tour guide, mainly because I just like saying virtual tour. It's good for the keywords, but what I really think I am is a discoverer. So we wander around. I mentioned I don't know a lot about Mestre, the history, the details. We did go out and walk around to get some SIM cards earlier. Ended up with TIM, hoping that they validate soon or activate. But you find things. You find this Chinese restaurant. You find this bike path. You find these really cool old buildings. And then I knew it was sort of a commercial center up here, but I didn't realize how also it was an old center of town, which should have occurred to me. So we walked to get we got our SIM cards put in, and then we sort of made our way back. And look at this little park over here. Look at that, look at all that shade. It's kind of super muggy here, as you would guess, right next to the water. But you get out of the sun and it's nice and cool. It's pretty pleasant. There's a nice little breeze. Anyway, co-discover, finding little things, right? Little details that you don't get in the brochures, like that little balcony up there. I think there's a term for that. Isn't that cool? It's really fun here. I've always been intimidated by the idea of driving in Italy because the traffic is fairly notoriously chaotic. But I have to say, I've not felt endangered at any time in this area. I'm sure other cities are very different. Look at all these people using their bikes and their scooters. Super cool. I'm gonna pop across here. Theater. Look at this old building. I love it. Right? Not like literally 2 blocks from not industrial, but definitely commercial area. You got that, and then you've got these residential blocks with the rhododendrons, I think, and the wooden shutters to keep the sun out during the day. It's just beautiful. After months of planning and a little bit of anxiety on travel days, we didn't almost miss our flight. We thought we might miss our flight from Paris to here. It all worked out fine though. Look at this little side street, Della Squale. I think this up here is a school, like a school for the Bambinis. Squala. It's been fun too because in 1996, I think it was, I went to Florence and studied Italian for about 5 months and did more partying than using my Italian, but I remember quite a bit actually. And I've been trying to use it here today. And of course, as is usual, the people with whom I've been trying to use it are client facing, taxi driver and the people at the phone store, so they want to be helpful, and so they're using English, and it is more helpful in stuff like that when you need some accuracy. But I was also using my Italian a little bit. They didn't acknowledge that it was amazing, but they also didn't laugh at me, which is pretty cool. So love this little cross lanes here, and right. Awesome dog. Yeah, it's just really relaxed and peaceful. You know, it's just now 6, approaching 6 p.m., which is when the restaurants start to open. We were looking for dinner earlier. You know, typical Americans wanting to eat at any hour of the day, which is great, works for us. But these restaurants aren't serving dinner yet. You can get snacks and a glass of wine and beer and that sort of thing. But so it kind of works for me to go to this walk now. Oh, look at this cat. Meow. Climbing that tree. Love it. Un gatto. Get the leaves starting to turn. September here, early September. And right. I get looking around and I forget to check to make sure the camera's pointing in the right direction. Look at this awesome little ristorante. Little bike shop over here. And I think this is why I was fooled. We come up here and get into another sort of nicer commercial area, but a commercial area, because that's where the phone shop was. Although then, of course, we found one right around the corner from the hotel on our way back. But it's a nice apartment building, looks like. I don't know if it's new or if it's just been rehabbed. We did get some gelato though. Right, it says a reward for getting our SIM cards worked out. It was delish, as one might expect. What do we get? We got chocolate menta, and fragola, strawberry. That's one thing I don't miss is trying to find parking. That's what I don't miss about driving. One of the things. I don't know if you guys, I meant to point out a couple of the hotels we passed, but maybe we'll see some more up here. One of the things that kind of makes Italy are these kind of pine trees, and I should know what kind of pine trees those are, or what kind of trees they are. I'll try to look it up later. They've got a distinctive look about them, don't they? Almost like cypress trees. That looks like a magnolia tree over here. This tiny little car. Awesome. I think that's the kind of car you need if you live here. These streets are so narrow. The idea of driving a big American SUV here would be frightening. I like seeing all the shops as well. Little wine bars. There's a church over here on the right. Polizia there. Love this. Oh, the breeze is nice. Little corner cafe up here. Things are starting to pick up. Love hearing the conversations. Picking up little bits here and there. This, I'm not sure what this building is over here on the left. Give you a better look here in a second. Let's look at this thing. I'm going to cut down here. No. Yeah, no, I'm going to go this way. Seems like an art complex. There's a theater in here. Can't really see in. It's just dark. Okay, now we're about to get into the interesting stuff again. It's a little modern commercial area, and then we're going to walk through some loggia. I think that's what they're called. You sort of covered. Ooh, let's look at that real quick. Look at that piazza. Very cool. All right, we're going to get down there. Don't worry. But we're going to go this way first, and that's all pedestrian mall down there. At where we were just looking at the cathedral church thing. There's a rental bike share. Love all these bike paths, and one of the things, they've done a lot of studies, and one of the things that makes a bike path more usable and friendly is having it physically separated from the traffic, the automobile traffic, which these are. A lot of people out doing the passaggio this evening. Awesome outdoor cafe. We didn't even see this gelateria until afterward, but it's pretty fancy. Looking for workers. Hearing all the kids and families, etc., etc. Here's a Ferris wheel, neat little Ferris wheel that's not in operation at the moment. Maybe it is. Got some kids. Oh, a little train. How fun is that? For your little bambinis. Fountain. Look at the lake coming through. Oh, isn't this beautiful? I also like how people have their dogs out with them. Love seeing the dogs. And the cat, of course. That's pretty cool. People are out eating. They're having some wine and beer and hanging out with their families. Love it. Some sort of fancier stores in this little area. It's hard not to smile. It's just a bit of a thrill traveling again. And I'm glad that I get to show you guys. I was commenting on some of these the other day about replying to a comment. Oh, here we go. The piazza. Look how lively this is. Look at that light too. I was commenting, or replying to a comment that, I started doing this in 2017 just as a way of motivating myself to get out and walk and explore. And I thought maybe somebody would watch it. And now we're getting close to 40,000 subscribers. That's fantastic. Love it. Got more dogs out here wanting to play. Big dogs too. these buildings. Now, I don't know how old these buildings are. They look really old, but they could be only 100 years old, which look at all the dogs at the cafe. I love it. You know, in the US, that's fairly old, but certainly in Montana, but certainly not for Venice, you know. It's been around for thousands of years, I want to say. Look, it's amazing. Look at these flowers, trees. So this buttoned up place is a newsstand, I believe. These flowers. Oh, it just keeps getting better and better. I haven't been back here yet. Oh yeah, we did. Maybe we did. No, that was a different place. But the lions, the winged lions, buckbeaks, hippogriffs. I don't know what they are, but griffins, griffons, trees. Look at it all. I love it. So many people. A little bit of music to throw off my Google ads. Look at this. These orange drinks are everywhere. Forget what they're called. Never actually had one, but they're super popular. It's like an apple something wrapper. Starts with an A, I think. Not an appletini. Oh, this is fantastic. Hope you guys are enjoying this. I sure enjoy hearing back from you in the comment section. In fact, Steve Shaddles, I hope you don't mind me calling you out. You just led a comment on, I think it was last week's walk, about the possibility that you'd heard that the canals were drying up a little bit. And we haven't been out to the island yet, but we flew in over the island. Very cool view flying into the airport. But it all looked fairly normal. Hopefully that's the case. Look, I love cities with mature trees. And I love these loggias. I think that's called what they're called, the loggias or porticos of the municipal building here. Look at that street. Isn't that amazing? Isn't that beautiful? Oh, could walk for days exploring. So I would say that while I wouldn't maybe come to Mestre, I wouldn't make the center of your trip, but definitely take a evening here if you have the time. Look at this. All right, I'm gonna smell marijuana somewhere. I guess I'll loop back this way. It's hard to tell. I don't think there's a wrong way to go, basically. Look at that little ristorante. Oh, little church here. We're gonna loop back and head back through that main section. Walled Giardino here. The terracotta tiled roofs. guess this is a roadway. Look at this. Apartment building, I guess. Probably pretty hot in the afternoon, but pretty nice right now. Look at all the dogs, man. It's fantastic. People out just kind of hanging out in these public spaces. Pizza places. Ooh. They have this system, or they used to have the system, where you would, it's sort of inexpensive pizza. It's pretty good though, and you just, it's all in this big pan, rectangular pan, and you pick your kind. They sell it by the gram, and squeeze it. You pick the kind you want, and they sort of hold this spatula, and when you think that's enough of what you want, you say basta, and they cut it, weigh it, and you buy it. And they hand it to you, usually in like in just a wax paper holder. But here's that clock tower again. And it's usually pretty good, pretty affordable. I just passed a place that had some of it. When we were here when we were in Florence in 2017, I found one place. It was in the tourist zone that had it. And when I was there in the 90s, it was everywhere. I don't know, maybe people get more money by, or maybe the rents went up is probably what happened. Here's a gelateria. Buongiorno. We're back to the central piazza. Dogs and bicycles and young people and old people. I love it. It's fantastic. Oh my goodness. So in the US, the green cross is often synonymous with a marijuana dispensary, but here it's just a pharmacia. This place. Love it. Sorry about that tilt, I was taking a picture. Possible thumbnail. Look at all these kids out here playing. I'm not gonna get too close. I ran by an old fellow in a wheelchair. And these are Italian kids. These aren't people like me that are visiting, tourists. Okay, so that building, what you can see up top, there's, well, first of all, there's that green patina on the copper work at the base, and then there's some paintings, which are called frescoes, I believe, up top. And it's a cinema, an old cinema theater place. So in cafes, if you sit down, it costs more. I know that. Pigeons are probably pests here. They're everywhere. And why wouldn't they be? You know, free food. Here we go. A little cafe bar. I'm just kind of letting the sound wash over me. Kids playing soccer, football. Here's that church that we saw earlier. from another direction. Oh, here's a little husky looking dog. So there's two types of police in Italy, or a couple types of police. One is the polizia, and another is the carabinieri. And I think the carabinieri is more of a national police force. Thought maybe this was carabinieri, but it's polizia locale. There's that building, and we'll see the facade of this, which is all marble, in a second. Here's another one that we saw, that silver, closed up silver cylinder earlier. That's what it looks like when it's open. It's sells all sorts of magazines and newspapers and little snacks. How's that for a pretty building? And not even famous. Right? Love it. It's the Dom di Lavarenti Martyris and a bunch of other stuff. We get back to some cafes, and we'll even get to see our first Venetian Canal, but not the main Venice canals, right? Here you go. Take a look down here. Canal, looks like there's either an aeration system in there or carp feeding. Carp, I think. Love seeing everybody out enjoying a little bookstore. The smells of... Oh, there goes the State Church. Oh my gosh, guys. That's a different church, though. Alright, here we go. Andiamo a casa.
No, ti hanno rubato la bici.
Look at this place. The ironwork and glass. Oh, guys, this is fantastic. Fantastico. Right. Excuse me. Alright. I think we went that way before. It's cool. But let's go this way, just because I haven't been down this way. And why not? Look at the light coming through there and hitting those buildings. Right? I'm a big fan of the light. Who isn't in the evenings and mornings? Golden hour. Oh my gosh. It just keeps going and going, you know? Not as many cigarette smokers as I remember in the past, which is kind of nice for a non-smoker anyway. These big poplar trees. This looks like a biblioteca up ahead, a library. And then here's the Hotel Centrale. Told you I was going to find you some more hotels. Wonderful. Oh, I was going to say, flew into the airport. In the past, we've always tried to do the cheapest option, the bus, that sort of thing, but they don't have Uber, but they do have taxis. And the airport's actually fairly small and calm. Of course, we were the last one to get our bags, so maybe that had something to do with it. But there's a fixed price with the taxis to get into town. So we paid 35 euros with a credit card to take a taxi for 4 people. The bus was going to cost, the express bus was going to cost us 8 euros a pop. And then you gotta do the whole bus thing. So it was super easy. It took about 15 minutes. Took us right to our hotel, front door. Awesome. And it was a big taxi too. You know, sometimes you get in these areas and the taxis don't really have enough room for bags and people. And but not today. Big station wagon thing as we wait for the light to cross. Carducci Parco. It's parking over there. Let's go get our lights across. Maybe not. Getting tired. Okay, so there's a fitness center over there, but also a Spar. And Spar is one of the big European grocery chains, and you get a lot of small ones like that. And then you get some mega stores too. Love it, man. Fountain here. Alright, so I think we're out of the center. We'll make our way over here to one of the main roads. I haven't been paying attention to the street names, I apologize. Now, I mentioned the separate, physically separated lanes. They don't have that here, but they do have it visually separated quite clearly with the orange paint, which is nice. One thing as a visitor you want to be careful about is that's for bikes, it's not for pedestrians. So you can see people flying by on their bicycles, and you don't want to get hit, and you might get yelled at if you're walking in there. I have to walk out there in a minute.
No, ma lei ha 15 quanto 15 centimetri. Erano 11, anche ancora oggi.
Abbiamo tolto la parte. Oggi io sono andata lì da quel piano.
There's a traffic circle. I think this is where we're going to make our left. I was just about to say that masks are required in all public transportation. And, maybe it's not in service or something, but the driver didn't have his on. Every other bus I've seen, people had masks on. Some cool art here. Looking for street signs. I did download my map, offline map. So let me see if I can find. This is Via Piave that we're walking on, and I believe we're walking south towards the train station. So we follow this and we will end up back on the train station. However, it's about another 30 minutes, and I don't want to subject you to 30 minutes of Italian traffic, so I just want to say thank you so much for joining me on this inaugural Italy walk. Super excited to be sharing it with you guys. And I hope you'll come back to see lots more. I'm hoping to film just a ton of these. Not so much this, but we're going to get into Bolzano. We're going to do a bunch of hikes in the Dolomites. We're going to do more little sort of Italian alpine towns, which are very Germanic from what I understand. Some of the areas that maybe Hemingway was in, lots of stuff like that. And then we're going to come back. We're going to go see Old Venice, and we're going to do several walks over there, and then we're going to go down to a little town called Montepulciano, which is also known for its wine. This is a military zone over here, some sort of military building. Anyway, look at that little guy. And then we're going to go down to Ischia, an island down there near Naples. And then we're going to go to Sorrento and see Naples and all these cool things, and then end up in Rome. And we're just going to film a lot of walks and have a great time. So I hope you'll join us again for all of those. I hope you will comment and subscribe and do all that fun stuff. But mainly, what I really like is for you to come back and see us again. Until then, from Venice Mestre, Italy, keep on stepping.